Hey, everybody, good morning. This is Chris Mahan. It is Saturday, January 18th, I believe. Yep, the 18th. And I know it's not Red Shirt Friday. For those of you who don't know what this means, this is for military servicemen and women who are serving overseas and to not forget them, people that are deployed. My two boys are active Marine, so they are stateside, but today's talk is all about gratitude and why it's important to say thank you to people. And it's one of those things that I think over the last probably 25, at least 15 years, young people today don't understand the importance of saying thank you. This is a problem in the workplace. When they do an interview, they don't send a thank you note, or just saying thank you to people that are helping them in their life and expressing how that person or those people are helping them and what it means to them. A simple thank you or a thank you note or a thank you letter after a job interview, even if you don't get the job, sending a thank you note is important. I'll tell you why in a second. But more importantly, we have a entire generation of young people, I'd say from age 35 down or even 40 down, where they think that everything is about respect. You're not respecting me. You're not respecting me. But what we really have in this country is not a respect problem, but a politeness and kindness and compassion problem. See, respect is really earned, but more importantly, you have to know someone and know what their good deeds are or were, what they've done to respect those. For instance, I don't have to respect who's in a political office, but I can respect the position of that office. So, what so many people today have misconstrued as respect or lack of respect is really, in my view, a lack of common courtesy, compassion, kindness, understanding. And all of that starts with a simple thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for telling me what I did wrong. Thank you for showing me how I could do this better. Thank you for being there when nobody else was. When I do my workshops, my employment workshops, I talk about resumes, we talk about elevator pitches, we talk about cover letters. But one of the most important things that I tell everyone, regardless of age, is there's a simple little trick, a little common courtesy thing that you can do that even if you're not getting called back for a second interview, or even if you didn't get called for an interview at all, a thank you note, a thank you letter is so important. And why is that important? One, it shows your professionalism. And in that thank you note, if it's a job situation, say you didn't get hired, you can ask them, what could I have done differently? Was there something I said or did that maybe wasn't good enough? This creates a conversation with that employer. Maybe this job wasn't the right fit for you, but down the road, because you showed that professionalism and that courtesy and that respect to them as a employer, they'll say, "Hey, I remember this person. Let me go back and look. Oh, it was so and so. I still have the resume here. They sent a thank you note. They were so nice, even though we didn't call them in for this last position. Let's give them a call and see what happens." A thank you is also important because it shows the other person that you truly do appreciate them and what they are doing for you. All too often, we don't get a thank you unless something catastrophic has happened and people step in to help. For instance, right now, the fires in California, or the people in North Carolina that are still suffering well over 100 days from that flood, the people that have gone there to help them rebuild with food, shelter, clothing, just emotional support. I see videos all the time of them getting on there and saying thank you. There's tears in their eyes. They're just so appreciative of someone who came there. And that simple thank you means so much. Today we have young people that, again, I'm going to say age 35 and below, not all of them, but as a general group, they don't understand the power of those two words. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being willing to sacrifice your life and time with your family and your friends to be overseas to help us, just to look out for us as a nation. Thank you. When Marines and soldiers come home, thank them. It just amazes me how far we have fallen as a society, as a nation, with just common courtesy. There is a division in this country that I've never seen before in my life in the last 10 years, maybe even last 16 years. There's always been people on one side or the other, but I feel like now, with everything that's happened in the media and all this fight now with social media and people getting angry with this and that and who said this and who said that, and then the media festers all this stuff and Hollywood festers these things, and the political spectrum just is blowing up with division. We are one nation. We are one people. Yes, we have different cultures, we have different ethnicities, we have different skin colors, we have different hair. Who cares? We are all human beings. We are all Americans. We have to thank each other and appreciate one another. Our young people today are suffering. And I did a whole podcast on this. I did an article on LinkedIn about the crisis of young men ages 25 to about 35. That 10-year age gap right there, they are suffering. There's what is it? I think it was 19% are living at home still. It's in my podcast from the other day. You can look it up, watch the video. I give the stats in there. But 2 weeks ago, I was doing a workshop, an employment workshop, and a 32-year-old guy came in. His mom brought him in. And I talk about this extensively in the other podcast. But he was angry that it takes so much effort. Why have to put so much effort in to just get a job? Why can't they just see me for who I am and do all the why have I got to do all this stuff? He was just so angry. And here was a kid that hadn't worked in 10 years. He was 32 years old. His last actual full-time job was when he was 22. And I said, there's certain things you can do to help yourself with employment. A cover letter is one to explain your gap in employment or why you're good for that position. But two, a thank you note, a simple thank you note. Now, today people say an email thank you note is fine, but I'm still old school, so I like the handwritten, put it in the mail. They get it as an envelope in their mail. They open it up, they see it's handwritten, it's signed. To me, that has a lot more meaning than a simple email. But what that also does is it shows professionalism, it shows gratitude, it shows a sincerity that just saying, okay, see you later, I hope I get the job, or nothing at all. And that's just for employment. Now, I have friends that we have accountability calls every Sunday at 6 o'clock. If you'd like to be a part of that, I'd be willing to send out a link. It's at 6 o'clock on Zoom. We have people all over the country, and we hold each other accountable. We talk about our goals, what we did, what we're trying to get to. And I can tell you that there are days when I'm like, man, I can't wait for that call. I can't wait to tell people what's going on. Or, man, I really had a hard week with this particular item, or I didn't get the call I wanted, or, I'm trying to get my book re-edited for Audible and it's kind of a little slow right now. So people say, "Hey, Chris, you're doing great. Keep moving, keep pushing, keep pushing." And I think about that. It's like, man, I am so thankful to have those people there to push me, but also remind me of what I'm doing because we can all get depressed. We can all get sad. We can all get in the mindset that we're not doing enough. And when people come back and say, "Man, I really appreciate what you're doing," or "You're really doing a great job," that's when we then have to say, "Thank you for being there. I was really having a bad day. Thank you for saying that. I was really doubting myself. Thank you for being a friend for the last 17 years, a true friend." If we all did this more often, except when we had to thank someone for a catastrophic event or a gift. Oh, thanks for the gift. Thanks for the, we said the holidays. Thanks for the Christmas gift. A thank you note, a true thank you comes from here. It comes with a place of gratitude. It comes from a place of uh, hope. It comes from a place that a a simple okay, bye, thanks. A true thank you. You can look someone in the eye, shake their hand, put your hand on their shoulder, sit with them, and say, "Man, I really want to thank you for everything you're doing. I just was having a hard time, and you were there, and I just want you to know how much that means to me." I think in today's world, some older adults might get that, but at the same time, why aren't adults, parents, grandparents teaching this to our young people? I pulled up on my other screen here the power of a thank you note, and I got pages and pages and pages here on Google. And from an employment side, it says it shows professionalism, it's common courtesy, it sets you apart, it encourages a gratitude oriented mindset. There's a couple things here, and I'll let you go. In the world of employment, there's competition that is so great. And I tell people in my workshops, you have to think like a business, think like a business owner, think like an entrepreneur. What do you do to market yourself? What do you do to set yourself apart from all of the other applicants? We all have resumes. We all have cover letters, maybe. We all have history. We all have work experience. But a simple thank you note can set you apart from all those other people. And the reason I love doing the one in the mail is because if someone's trying to employ people and they're doing interviews after interviews after interviews, that stack might be 20, 30 deep or more. And if you were first on that pile, you're probably now on the bottom. So a thank you note that comes a couple days later, they get it in the mail and they open it up. They say, oh my gosh, they go back and find your name, find your resume, relook at you, and now you're back on the pile. You just jumped yourself ahead of all the competition. That's a great reason to send a thank you note a couple days after an interview. Again, if you don't get the job, you still send a thank you note because employment is fluid. People come and go all the time. Your impression that you make through that thank you note, even when you didn't get the job, might set you up for an opportunity to re-interview for another position with that same company. It is imperative today with all of the division and all of the hate and all of the propaganda about this group and that group and this group that we all stop and thank each other. It is absolutely critical because our young people need to hear it. They need to be taught and shown that it's okay to speak to other people and say, thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for being there when no one else was. Thank you for showing me that I could do this when I wasn't sure myself. Those two words, thank you, are so powerful. Remember that the next time you're at a job interview. Remember that the next time you see one of your friends that you haven't told in a long time how much you appreciate them. Look at the look on their face and see the smile on their face when they hear that sincere thank you. I really appreciate what you did for me. It goes a long way. Doing that in front of our young people teaches them that leaders are humble and leaders show people and tell people how much they mean to them. Actions are absolutely critical when it comes to leadership. And those simple two little words, thank you, go a long way. So, with that, I want to thank you for tuning in. Please like and share Lead Your Teen podcast on Spotify, here on YouTube. Follow me on LinkedIn, Christopher S. Mahan, speaker author. And on Facebook, it's Christopher S. Mahan, speaker author. There's a group page there. And I'd love to have you guys on board. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns or ideas for a podcast, please send them to me at leadyourteen, that's teenager, not team, leadyourteen@gmail.com, and I'll answer everything you send me. And I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday. And man, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to be able to share this with you guys. See ya.